Now to continue the conversation, State Attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Ehrenberg, back with us, along with distinguished professor at Torrey University, our friend Thane Rosenbaum. Thane, always great to have you in studio with us. All right, your reaction. I haven't really gotten to talk to you about this. As a Harvard alum, I have to say I'm embarrassed by Claudine Gay. I'm embarrassed by the board, and this is certainly not what Harvard stands for.
Nina, I have to tell you, I'm not surprised by this at all. Remember, she was the one that brought DEI to Harvard. She was in arts and sciences. She's the architect of that. The 500 law professors who signed the letter to keep her, they were all people that buy into the lack of viewpoint diversity, the woke world agenda. And so I think that it would have been incredibly unlikely that the board would fire an African-American woman, the first one in Harvard's history, has only been on the job for 6 months. The faculty would not tolerate it. And let me just say, if you're a faculty member and you didn't sign that letter, good luck to you.
Interesting.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying basically she checks the necessary boxes, therefore she's staying.
And you're on campus, you'll be shunned. Remember, there's no.
That's what they do.
It's what they do.
That is what they do.
They didn't used to, also. Which
Dave,
is
your take on this? I mean, if you're a student, I know the standards are extremely high. If you're caught plagiarizing anything, I mean, your butt's out the door. Now, the president here, they can kind of do it, and they can do a little, oh, we investigated, and it didn't rise to that level, but sure seems like it does.
Well, I was on the show yesterday, and as a graduate of Harvard, just like Katrina, we talked about how the people who supported President Gay are the ones who are going to be asked to throw her overboard, and that was not going to happen in the first 6 months. The first black woman to be president of Harvard. That was not going to happen. As far as the plagiarism, I wouldn't go as far as to say she just did a wholesale plagiarism. I've looked into this a little bit, and what I've seen is that she did cite to the original source in a footnote, but she didn't paraphrase and put in her own words. She pretty much adopted the whole paragraph, but she did cite to the original copy. So I don't know, I mean, I get what Harvard is. That's why I don't think she's going to be tossed aside because of that. I think a bigger issue is the lack of viewpoint diversity, the fact that there's an echo chamber there. No surprise that it was unanimous to keep her in her position.
You know, do you think that these elite colleges, Harvard, Columbia, MIT, all of these, Penn, do you think that their reputations are suffering enough that students who may otherwise have wanted to go there will not? Or do you think this will just be something that will be ignored when we see the admissions process come around again?
Nina, I hate to put you on the spot. Are you giving him any money? I think some of the things, what we saw with Bill Ackman and Mark Rowan, big-time donors, if people at your position, someone like you with your stature says, I'm out, right? They lose an enormous amount of credibility. This was a badge of honor. I know your mom's proud. And so that has a lot to do with it. These schools have benefited from higher status, and they've ruined it. They've soiled themselves. The rot, the lack of intellectual curiosity, and the insistence on intellectual conformity has ruined them. And unfortunately, these are the best of the best.
Dave, do you think anything changes? We got about 30 seconds. Are you hopeful that Harvard, Penn, these universities hope that people are fickle and that they forget quickly about what happened and we just kind of move on?
No, I think that congressional hearing was their Waterloo. I think things will start to, in my mind, perhaps gradually get better. It's not going to be overnight. Look, you already saw the departure of the president of UPenn, and now people are withholding money, and there's going to be pressure to end this so that we can have a more inclusive university system that focuses on learning rather than pushing a political agenda.
I'll tell you what, the only reason we're talking about any of this is because the war happened in Israel. Those people had to be murdered, or else none of this would be talked about. I know you guys can't deny that.
Right. Well, the anti-Semitism clearly rose to the top, something that had been bubbling beneath the surface, I think, more than many of us realized.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Thane Rosenbaum, sir, great to have you in studio.
Anytime, Bob. It's great seeing you both.
Yeah. Okay. Dave, you stick around. More coming up later. All right. The China crisis. Xi Jinping's government accused of hacking key